This is the Inkpulp podcast. This is the Inkpulp podcast. Comics, hip hop, life. Welcome to the Inkpulp podcast, Espresso, the gift that keeps on giving. And we're still doing the Stack Machine here on the Inkpulp podcast. I'm your host, Sean Crystal. Today, let me check. Hold on one second. Yep. Today I'm inking the headshot for DJ Mike RELM. And we did the full body a few weeks ago. Now we're doing the headshot. Again, video is going to speak for itself. I just wanted to say hi. And I hope you enjoy. See you next week. Peace. Welcome to the Inkpulp podcast. I'm your host, Sean Crystal. And we are still jamming on the S.T.A.C.K machine. I'm going to apologize for inking off camera. Sometimes I get a little, it's a little tricky to film yourself and stay on top of the filming while you're in such a deep meditative state of work and creativity. So I apologize in advance for all that. Maybe I should zoom out a little bit. But I was also seeing if maybe it'd be cool to zoom in to see more intimate look at the brush strokes and everything I'm doing. So today on the Inkpulp podcast, I'm inking the head of the design for DJ Mike RELM, which we talked about when I did the full figure. Sorry, I'm still sipping my espresso, which is quite delicious. I also sipped a little bit of weed. I had some of that Far Side cartridge, which I talked about last week. And if you're in the California area, I really recommend it. It's a beautiful strain. Let me explain. I don't think I did that last week. The strain itself it's a hybrid that leans sativa. So it's got a nice little energizing pop to it. It's great for creativity, positivity. It helps with anxiety and depression and all that wonderful stuff. So highly recommend it. It's so cool to know people who are in the weed game like this, that they're creating strains and products for us to use, but also to be friends with and working with the Far Side as they do this. I mean, the strain is called Soulflower, and I remember hearing Soulflower for the first time. I remember listening to it on the Far Side's album, and I remember listening to the other version on the Brand New Heavies album with the live instrumentals, and just how good it was, just how good of a song it is. And there's a great story that Brown told me on the Inkpulp podcast where Jim Mahfood and I interviewed Brown while we were drawing. That was a great episode. We captured hip-hop history in that episode. I mean, Brown told us so many stories of Jay Dilla. Biggie Smalls opened for them when no one knew who he was. That was an amazing story. But he also told the story of the day they went into the Brand New Heavies, went into the studio to record the Brand New Heavies track, and how they ended up all getting way too high and had to leave and record it the next day. So that was a cool story. But yeah, go check that out. It's in the archives on this YouTube channel of mine. It's a good one. So let's talk about this a little bit. Yeah, I'm inking the head of DJ Mike Realm. This is a design I'm really proud of. When we started the project, Mike and Brown had kind of a vision of what they wanted for each, with room for me to come in and do my thing. I mean, they have been the best collaborators I've ever worked with. They have absolute faith in me, which I still am just kind of blown away by. That someone who inspired me and my art for so long can have instant faith and trust in me and my work. It's just been a really great experience. It gets me a little emotional when I think about it. Sorry. So yeah, they had an idea of what they were wanting, or I guess not an idea. They had inspiration for the direction of the design, and Mike is known for wearing his black suits with his red sneakers. And when he performs, it's his signature look. So I don't think he wanted to alter that too much. He still is DJ Mike Realm, but he wanted to add something to it that is unique to S.T.A.C.K Machine. So through conversation, we decided a helmet was really what was needed, and something that he could actually create and fabricate in real life and wear on stage. I mean, we created the S.T.A.C.K Machine with live performances in mind. We created this before COVID. So we had this idea that the artwork would be a part of the shows, the performances. You'd have a giant screen. I mean, here I am recording this stuff and playing it back for you on the podcast, but that wasn't the original idea for recording it, and it's still not the only use for recording it. We want to have footage of this stuff in the background of the performances. When we have gallery shows, we want to have it playing on screens in the background of the shows while Mike spins. We have ideas. So what we've created is this unique collaboration, or this combination, this hybrid of drawing and hip hop and comics and hip hop, but it's bigger than that. I mean, that right there is big in and of itself, but we wanted this thing to grow into things we couldn't fathom of thinking of when we created it. We kept it open so that we could keep building on it. And one of the things that came up for me was gallery shows. I mean, when we talked about touring, I was like, we could, if this is like a world tour situation, we could have the gallery tour as part of it. And I'd be going on this world tour with Brown and Mike Realm and whatever guest rappers are part of the tour. And in every city we go to, we could have these gallery shows where all the artwork we created was on display and I mean, maybe for sale. I guess it would have to be if you're at a gallery. But you also think it's also a meet and greet for the S.T.A.C.K Machine where we will all be there and can sign shit. It's also an opportunity for us to create, develop, and sell merch along the tour and the S.T.A.C.K Machine. I mean, and beyond that, we've got our site. I mean, we've talked about animated series. We've talked about animated features. We've talked about video games. We are keeping this very open. This is an ambitious project, but I have no doubts that this project is going to be something special. And it's very much become a celebration for 90s hip-hop in a lot of ways, which is, you know, the era that I think of most highly when I think of hip-hop. I've loved hip-hop since the mid-80s, and I've loved it all along the way. I think I had some trouble with the early 2000s, where a lot of like this southern commercial rap became huge, and it seemed like the spirit of hip hop was dying, and that was an ignorant perception on my part. I admit to that now, but that's also when I discovered, and that's when the whole underground scene became big, and that's where I found my love. That's where the like art of hip hop lived and thrived. But I just was never into the No Limit Records. stuff, and now I'm much more open-minded about that. I haven't revisited it, so I don't know, but I love Atlanta hip hop and Southern hip hop now. I love where hip hop is right now, and I loved where it was. But the '90s was very special to me, and obviously to Brown and to DJ Mike RELM. So to create the Stack Machine as a celebration of that is really, really awesome, super dope. I love it. So to be a part of it and all that, it's just a dream come true. I know I keep going on and on and on about it, but I'm excited. We've been working on this for a year and a half almost, and this is the first we're bringing it to the public. These teases, this storytelling session I have on the podcast where we talk about it. It's awesome. And yeah, I'm just excited to be bringing it out there. I hope you all are enjoying it. Next week, I believe, will be the last week we cover the Stack Machine for a little while, because I got one more design of me inking. So I will see you then. Stay blessed and keep your eyes peeled for the Stack Machine. Thank you. This is the Inkpulp podcast. This is the Inkpulp podcast. Comics, hip hop, life.